Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on the Buffalo Bills' quest for another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, hold on tight because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most talked about rumors of the offseason. Rumor has it that the Buffalo Bills are eyeing a blockbuster move, trading for Denzel Ward from the Cleveland Browns. And I know what's probably already running through your mind. Is this really happening? Could the Bills be making a serious push to solidify their secondary for a Super Bowl run? Well, according to some leaks from insiders, the buzz is strong, and the details are pretty compelling. Word is, the Bills and Browns are in serious discussions, with sources suggesting that Buffalo may be willing to part ways with a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft and a second-rounder in 2027 to bring Denzel Ward into the fold. Let's break down what this could mean. First, the Browns, who finished with a disappointing 6-11 record last season, are reportedly looking to rebuild after a tough year, especially with the cap situation being tight, around $34 million in cap space, which is not much when you're trying to turn a team around. Cleveland is likely to shed some salary and draft picks to start fresh, and Ward, at 28, is seen as a prime trade target because he's still playing at an elite level. Ward has been a shadow lockdown corner in the league, capable of shadowing the opponent's top receivers and limiting big plays. His ability to cover the best WRs like Tyreek Hill or Davante Adams has been a key factor in Cleveland's secondary, and that's exactly what the Bills need. Talking about Ward's profile, he's played 88 games so far in his career, with a total of 248 solo tackles, 15 interceptions, 62 pass deflections, and 5 touchdowns. He's been a consistent force, and in 2025 he appeared in all 17 games, registering 52 solo tackles, 4 INTs, and 14 pass deflections. His PFF coverage grade last year was an impressive 88.6, ranking him among the top cornerbacks in the league, and his overall grade was 89.9. His targets faced were 78, with a catch percentage allowed of just under 50% and a yards per target of 6.5. These numbers highlight how effective Ward is at limiting big plays and controlling the passing game, exactly what the Bills need to take their secondary to the next level. Now, it's worth mentioning that Ward has had some injuries, particularly a hamstring issue in Week 7 of last season, which caused him to miss a game. But overall, his career injury rate is quite manageable, with a missed tackle percentage of just 6.9% and a quarterback rating when targeted of 76. 4. His ability to surpass plus 10% coverage wins over elite receivers like Ramsey makes him even more attractive. Plus, his profile includes a history of forcing turnovers, 15 INTs in his career, with a notable boost in defensive yards after interceptions, adding more playmaking to the Bills' secondary. Hash the context of the Bills' defense and their historical performance to understand how significant this potential move is. We need to consider the Buffalo Bills' defensive history and their current standing in the NFL. Over the past few seasons, the Bills have established themselves as one of the league's premier defenses, especially under the guidance of defensive coordinator Sean McDermott. Their defensive schemes emphasize aggressive coverage, creative blitz packages, and a physical style that has often stifled opponents. In the 2022 season, the Bills finished with a top 10 defense in points allowed, giving up just over 20 points per game, and they ranked second in the league for total yards allowed per game, around 310. Their pass defense was particularly strong, ranking 4th in the NFL, allowing just 185 passing yards per game. However, in the postseason, they faced some challenges, especially in covering top-tier receivers and creating turnovers. For example, in their divisional playoff loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, they struggled to contain Jamar Chase, and their pass rush was inconsistent at times. The secondary has been a crucial component of their defensive success, but it's been somewhat inconsistent, especially against the league's best receivers. Tre'Davious White, one of the league's premier cornerbacks when healthy, has been a cornerstone of the Bills' secondary since 2017. His return from injury has bolstered their coverage, but White's ACL tear in 2022 kept him out for most of that season, and his recovery has been a key storyline. Meanwhile, second-year player Christian Benford and rookie Elam have shown promise, but also inconsistency, especially against elite competition. Adding Denzel Ward, who has been a consistent shutdown corner, would significantly elevate their secondary, allowing White to shift into a more versatile role or shadow the opponent's WR2, while Ward handles the WR1. This flexibility can be a game changer, especially in tight playoff games where limiting big plays becomes paramount. Statistical deep dive. Ward's impact and the Bills' defensive metrics lets analyze Ward's stats more deeply to understand his potential impact on the Bills. Over his career, Ward's 15 interceptions demonstrate his ball-hawking instincts. His interception return yards total over 200 yards, with 3 of his picks returned for touchdowns, showcasing his ability to change the game in an instant. His pass deflections, averaging around 1 per game, indicate his tight coverage and ability to disrupt routes. In 2025, his stats further cemented his reputation as a top-tier corner. His 4 interceptions led the Browns' secondary, and his 14 pass deflections ranked among the top 10 for cornerbacks that season. His coverage grade of 88, 6 from PFF, is well above average, placing him within the league's elite shutdown corners. His yards allowed per target of 6.5 is also impressive, considering the league average hovers around 7.07. 5, which means opposing quarterbacks are less likely to throw his way or are less successful when they do. When integrating those numbers into the Bills' defensive framework, adding Ward could reduce their pass yards allowed per game from around 230 to approximately 9,100 yards, considering the addition of a corner of his caliber. This would free up the safeties and linebackers to focus more on run support and blitz packages, increasing overall defensive versatility. Furthermore, his ability to create turnovers could lead to more scoring opportunities for the Bills' offense, which is already one of the league's best. The Bills' offense, led by quarterback Josh Allen, has been explosive, but their defense's ability to generate turnovers has lagged behind some of the other top contenders like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Cincinnati Bengals. Acquiring Ward would give them a better chance to flip field position and set up short fields, especially in critical moments. The historical significance of the move and comparisons historically. The Bills have made some bold moves to build playoff-caliber teams, the most notable being their 4 consecutive Super Bowl appearances from 1990 to 1993, where they were led by legendary players like Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith, and Andre Reed. While those teams are remembered for their offensive firepower and resilience, their defense was also formidable, anchored by Hall of Famers like Smith and a solid secondary. In modern times, the Bills have been striving to recreate that balanced approach. Their recent drafts have focused on building a stout front 7 and bolstering their secondary, but adding a player like Ward could elevate their secondary from good to elite, reminiscent of the best defenses in NFL history. Comparing Ward to other top shutdown corners like Jalen Ramsey, who was traded from the Rams to Miami in 2023, or Sauce Gardner of the Jets, who has quickly established himself as a premier lockdown corner, Ward's experience and track record make him a valuable asset. Ramsey, in particular, has been known for his physicality and ability to shadow the opponent's best receiver, traits that Ward exhibits as well. Expectations for the future and the impact on the AFC East looking ahead. The AFC East is arguably the most competitive division in the NFL. The Bills, Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots are all vying for supremacy, with each team making significant roster moves. The Dolphins have added Tyreek Hill and are expected to bolster their defense, while the Jets have invested heavily in Aaron Rodgers and built a formidable secondary with players like Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. In this context, the Bills' potential acquisition of Ward could be the piece that pushes them ahead of their division rivals. With the Jets and Dolphins investing heavily in their defenses and offenses, the Bills need to match or surpass that level to stay competitive. Ward's addition would give Buffalo an edge in pass defense, especially against high-powered offenses like Miami's with Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill, or the Jets' emerging passing attack with Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. The Bills' future outlook, however, is not just about defense. Their offense, led by Josh Allen, remains among the league's best, with his ability to extend plays and make throws under pressure. But to maximize their Super Bowl chances, they need a defense that can shut down the opposition's best players and force turnovers. Ward's proven ability to do just that could be the catalyst that elevates the Bills from a playoff team to Super Bowl contenders. Deep dive into key players mentioned Josh Allen. The heart and soul of the Bills' offense, Allen's dual-threat ability to pass and run makes him one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the league. His arm strength and improvisational skills have led to numerous game-winning drives, but consistency and turnovers have sometimes held the team back. An improved defense would give Allen more opportunities to be aggressive, knowing the back end is solid. Tre'Davious White, returning from injury, White has been a cornerstone of the secondary. His ability to shadow WR1s and make plays on the ball has been instrumental. His leadership and experience are vital, especially in high-stakes playoff games. Adding Ward would allow White to be more versatile, possibly shifting to shadow the opponent's WR2 or slot receiver, depending on the matchups. Christian Benford and Kyer Elam. Young and promising, both have shown flashes but need consistency. Ward's presence would help mentor these players and reduce the pressure of having to carry the entire secondary. Denzel Ward. As a player, Ward has been a model of consistency and shutdown coverage. Drafted in 2018 out of Ohio State, he quickly established himself as a top corner, earning a Pro Bowl selection in 2019. His quick feet, football IQ, and physicality make him a nightmare for receivers. His ability to play inside or outside gives defensive coordinators flexibility. Cleveland Browns. The Browns have been in a rebuilding phase, especially after acquiring Deshaun Watson in 2022. Their defense has been inconsistent, partly due to injuries and youth. Trading away Ward might be a strategic move to acquire draft capital and clear salary cap space to sign other key players like Myles Garrett, who is a dominant pass rusher and a franchise cornerstone. The Browns' linebacker core, featuring Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and Sione Takitaki, is promising but needs more support from the secondary. Potential trade impact and strategic fit. The proposed trade, involving a first-round pick in 2026 and a second-rounder in 2027, is a significant investment for the Bills. However, when you consider the potential upgrade in defensive talent, the move makes strategic sense. The Bills have always prioritized building a strong defense around their offense, and Ward could be the final piece needed to challenge the league's best. From Cleveland's perspective, trading Ward aligns with their rebuild plan. They can use the draft capital to select promising young players, especially on the offensive line or in the secondary, and free up cap space to pursue free agents next offseason. The trade could be a win-win if Cleveland can develop their new players and build a more balanced roster. The broader NFL landscape and the Super Bowl outlook in the broader NFL landscape. Teams that have strong secondaries tend to succeed in the playoffs. The Kansas City Chiefs, for example, have benefited from a secondary that can limit big plays, enabling their pass rush to get home more often. The Cincinnati Bengals, with their high-powered offense, rely on a secondary that can hold up against elite receivers. If the Bills acquire Ward, they position themselves as one of the top defensive teams capable of matching up with these elite units. Their chances of winning the Super Bowl increase significantly, especially if their secondary can neutralize the league's best receivers and create turnovers. The AFC remains highly competitive, with the Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens, and Jaguars all vying for supremacy. The Bills' addition of a shutdown corner like Ward could be the difference-maker in tight playoff games, helping them advance further and possibly claim their first Super Bowl title since 1993. Final thoughts and predictions. While nothing is official yet, the possibility of the Bills acquiring Denzel Ward is incredibly exciting. It's a move that aligns perfectly with their championship ambitions, addressing a key area of need while bolstering their chances against tough AFC opponents. If the trade goes through, expect to see a more aggressive, confident Bills defense that can shut down the league's top offensive threats. In the coming weeks, keep a close eye on official reports, but don't be surprised if this move becomes the defining storyline of the NFL offseason. Buffalo fans, get ready for a potential defensive transformation that could set the stage for a Super Bowl push. And stay tuned for more updates, analysis, and insights on how this blockbuster could reshape the AFC East and the NFL landscape as a whole. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade for Denzel Ward? Do you think it makes sense? Are you excited about the prospect of adding a shutdown corner like him to our already talented defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. Remember, this is a community, and your voice helps shape the conversation. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. Keep the passion alive, and let's get ready for what could be an incredible season ahead. Character count, 137 characters.